Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
And neither of us are Lulu.
I'm not one, I think. Am I allowed to do that, or does that break the pattern?
You can do whoever.
Okay, cool.
We've had it both
you
ways.
Could be
Okay.
Not
Cool.
anyone. I don't know.
And I'm not anyone but Lulu.
I am only.
Well, can we keep our pronouns? I think that'll be really sticky. I don't want to
True.
deal with how that would feel.
There
so,
you go.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm still she,
Yeah.
so let's go with it.
Yes.
Cool.
There we go. And it is. Tell them what month it is. 'Cause
Oh, it's Pride
it's
Month.
exciting
I always
time.
forget.
I know. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Yeah. It's Pride Month. Pride Month.
Pride Month.
Pride Month. And so we are here with our dear friend to talk about. It's kind of an interesting one because we're going to be diving into. It's like 1 year later, so this will be an interesting contrast to
Our first
yeah.
Pride Month episode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm here to judge the progress. I'm not going to be
Okay.
talking about
We're gonna
my
get a
identity.
We'll get a
Score.
grade at the end.
Yeah,
and-
I will be like reffing. So,
Okay.
so,
It's like
just keep it civil when y'all talk about your identities 1 year later.
Okay. I'll try.
I mixed the metaphors there, and I had to reclaim it. So I was like, okay, now I'm a ref, and I'm going to do what a ref does. So,
Good job.
figured
All
it out. Sorry.
how do you want to start? You wanna do our weekly recap? Do you want to do introductions? Do we want to? How do you want to?
Let's do introductions. Because we
Okay.
always skip introductions if we do the weekly first.
Yeah, that's fair. So this is if this is your first time joining us, I'm Karina. This is my brother Chris, and this is our guest. How would you like to be? What name would you like to go by today?
I have a list because I'm a trans femme stereotype. Let's go with Thea. I have
Thea.
that one too. Yeah,
I like
That's a
that
good
one
one.
a lot. I like it because it's like
thank you.
Haunting of Hill House
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's like Dorothea,
Mm-hmm.
and
yes.
I love
so
that.
Dorothea
Oh,
is
pretty.
the main character of Middlemarch,
There you go.
Okay.
and I relate to her a lot. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
So we are here with Thea today.
I like that.
And we're going to do our Pride themed episode. I think if we're starting off on the right foot, pronouns are in order.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
I am he, him.
I am she, her, but it really doesn't matter to me. You can
Yeah.
call me hey you over there with the
I'm
face in
good
the
with
pants.
With they too.
So,
right on. Yeah, I'm a they she.
and I'll still ignore you. Not you.
That was just
Like,
oh,
you
wow.
can call
okay.
me whatever you want, and I will still ignore you.
Yeah.
No, it was a
Got it.
thought that was like it was
No, I
lagging
figured,
a little bit.
but I
It
was
just
like, wow,
wasn't-
that would be very daring.
Just- and
Do a
I'll
guess.
still ignore
It's like
you.
I'm
We're
glad
gonna-
we're that close, but also like
We're gonna bring on a guest and just ignore them the whole time. It's gonna be great. So fun.
I play the role of the audience. I'm watching,
Oh no.
and it's what's the term for a relationship that's like one-sided?
Oh,
Wow. I keep thinking of. So I'm thinking of pathological, which is not.
My
it.
brain was like parasitic,
And I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, depending, it can
technically,
certainly be
but
parasitic.
there's a like
I would
step
hope this
down
one
from
isn't.
that. It's
Yeah.
like
And I keep
codependent.
thinking of
I don't know.
pantheistic. I'm not even sure if that is like a dinosaur time name.
I don't think.
You know, like Jurassic.
Yeah.
and
Pantheistic.
Oh, gotcha. I was
Fantastic.
like, I don't know that the
There's
dinosaurs
fantastic
had
in there. That was a good time. And then, yeah, well, whatever. You know the thing. It's never mind. Anyway. Okay.
It's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah.
We're all kind of wound up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We started off with feet, so you know it's a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is EDS.
So it's hard to go down from there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We're only going up using our feet.
Mm-hmm. Totally. The
Oh
feet
my
that you don't
God,
want.
get out of here with your totally.
Sorry.
I don't think you realized you did it until I realized you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Help me navigate this one. Because I'm having structural difficulties.
Structural difficulties.
Yes.
It's a cool band name.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Now I'm gonna be stuck on that.
Structural difficulties. Oh, friends, look. So if you're watching today, you can see I'm wearing my shirt.
It looks so good.
I deserve a clean house and a hard body.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I
I have
still
my
have to
other
get
one
mine.
that I wore yesterday for our live. And then next are hoodies. Mwahaha.
Yeah, I need to get hoodies
Mwahaha.
and then cut them apart.
Ruin.
No, it'll be great.
No, I know what you want to
Yeah.
do. You want sleeveless.
Mhm. Well, not sleeveless. I want short sleeves.
That's
Giant.
what
short
I meant,
sleeves.
but-
Well, sleeveless. Imagine that. Just like a vest.
It's a vest. A
With a
vest
hood.
hoodie. Why?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
I say we just do weekly recap.
All
Make
right.
your brain happy.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, it is time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Woohoo! You want to go first?
Yeah. What did we do after last week? I feel like something happened on Sunday, but I can't remember. No, it was pretty calm actually. I spent a lot of time with the kids. We've
Yeah.
been doing a lot of summer stuff because
Yes.
they've been very bored. Rory's been acquainted with boredom for the first time ever, it seems like. So
And he's physically pained
that's why
by
he came
it.
in here earlier, because he's bored and he was gonna ask me for something like, "Can we play something together?" Or
Uh-huh.
It's more of an ennui.
yeah,
Like something, it's an ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
I've
hit him
been there.
hard.
Yeah, he does not appreciate boredom at
Mhm.
all.
So we've been playing lots of games together. A lot of fatigue early in the week.
Yes.
I could not wake up one of the days.
I think it was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were both conked out all of Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we hung out yesterday and did our live,
Yep.
which was really
that
good.
was fun. And we've hung out a couple times.
Yeah.
Over the course of the week. So that was nice. Like I was here Tuesday and then Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. We
And
hung out
then-
like a long time. We did a
Yeah.
long live too.
We did. It was really fun.
Like
we
3
got
to
a
8?
full page, like a page and a half of topic suggestions from people on Facebook. So that
Nice
was really
job.
cool. And so we sat down and wrote all those down.
We have episodes for days.
Episodes for years.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. Ooh.
Probably enough to stretch it. Like if we really stretch them out.
Well, and there's a few that we've already kind of
Yeah.
like drug through the mud. So
But yeah, it's been a good week otherwise.
Yeah.
I was sick for a day. I told you I had that like
Oh, yeah.
random one day cold.
Yeah.
it's your weird.
Those are so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I went to bed, woke up and was fine, but before that I felt like I was dying. Like
That's
it was
so weird.
really intense and then
Yeah.
it went away.
Your body was just like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
It's a fire. We put it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone now. No need to overreact. My week was a lot of fatigue, and then there was some like family upheaval and drama,
Mm.
but it was fine at the end. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I am the person who like manages everything and
Mhm.
is the go-between and the like translator for poor communication, because that's a big thing with everybody. And then I wind up like not playing both sides, but like running between, and it's like
Yeah.
running back
You're
and
heavily
forth.
involved, yeah.
Yeah, heavily involved on both sides, and then heavily emotionally involved on both sides.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, can there just not be sides? I'm so tired. Please stop. But I did get to sleep for the first time in like 9, 10, 12 weeks.
Yay.
Yeah.
Because, and it was weird waking up, because yesterday I felt good. which
Yeah, yesterday was a great day.
weird. Because I haven't felt good in a long time. A long time.
It sounds so sad. I haven't had a good day in forever.
Not like it's
Yeah.
not a good day, but like I haven't felt like I haven't woken up and been like, I don't hate this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
usually I wake up and I'm like, dear God, who invented consciousness and why? It's horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we did live and we hung out
Mhm.
and yeah, nothing too crazy. And then I have surgeon appointment on Monday.
She's gonna get surgery, hopefully. Hopefully.
Well, I'm gonna get surgery. It just depends on when,
Yeah.
because we have things to do in late July, early August.
Oh yeah.
If things go well, we'll see.
So you're gonna try and get that done before?
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
Yeah.
Brave.
I would like to do that before.
Not after.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just in case anyone who is emotionally invested in my world is watching. You don't know what's happening, so shh. And those of you who do know, also shh.
Just
Well, I'm manifesting a good outcome on the shush.
Thank you.
So
Nice.
on the redacted.
yeah.
On the redacted, exactly. How about you?
Oh, it's been okay. So this is my first week not being vegetarian anymore. So I lasted about 6 months. I shouldn't say lasted, because it's not like I gave up, but it's like I went to the doctor and I weighed in like way less than I've ever been in my young adulthood, which is like a concern when you're taking estrogen. But like I don't want to lose that bulk, especially because like I have lesbian shit to do.
Yeah.
So, but also like I'm 6'2", so I can very quickly kind of go into a unhealthy weight.
Yeah.
So I've just been like mincing the protein, and I'm also assuming that a lot of the fatigue from previous weeks was just like me not having enough protein.
Wow.
So on Sunday I ordered tacos, and they were amazing. And Summer made wings yesterday, which were amazing. I still have one left over for lunch.
We have to associate with Summer. This is Summer's
partner.
I was like,
you don't have to hesitate.
Where? No, I wasn't sure where we were.
What level of partner?
Yes. What level of partner?
Oh no, we're partners.
Yeah,
we're good.
So this is my dear friend Summer's.
Yeah,
partner.
we're partners. Like I don't actually watch media, so I can't even think of it. like Mario. No, like Wario and Waluigi. You know, it's like, are we related? Are we married? Are we like fellow costumers? Like, what's the deal? No, we're very firmly romantically intertwined.
Yes.
Summer and I.
Yes.
That was well worded. I like that.
And Lou is who I want to be when I grow up. So.
How
Someday.
Someday. But
How
I'm never
so?
growing up, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, how so?
What's that?
This is a surprise. that
Oh
you
my
wanna-
gosh, you were just so like bold and witty and like quick, and I love it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Wow. Okay, and I received praise today, and that was amazing. I will give it back in kind, but I need to finish my weekly recap too. So
Yes.
So went to the doctors for a hormones checkup. Testosterone is low, estrogen is high. Fuck yeah. But so I've been like wanting to switch medications. I don't actually know the difference between like estradiol, which is what I'm taking, and like progesterone. There are different forms of estrogen, and like those are both two naturally occurring hormones, like in the female body. But you know, I don't like. I'm producing some progesterone already because I wait like when my labs came in, I'm just above like the upper limit of what, you know, people who are assigned male tend to be born with, the amount.
Right.
So it's like either I'm producing estrogen from or progesterone from estradiol, or I'm intersex. So like either would be great.
Yeah.
Either be a great outcome. Because then if I'm not, then that would be the level that I've like retained since before transition. So that would mean something too. But so things are looking good. But my doctor just raised my spironolactone dose. That's my testosterone blocker.
Oh, okay.
And what that does is it takes all the testosterone and it forms it into pee, and then you pee it out. So
I had to be on an estrogen blocker for a while.
Yeah.
Because my testosterone was like in the 50s, which is really low.
See, I don't know what's like
It's low.
what any of it is supposed to be.
And then we stopped taking it, so I don't know. My testosterone's been low for a long time.
I am trying my best to explain what it means, but what it means to me is that I'm growing tits, and that's
Right.
fucking
Whoop, whoop.
awesome. So I'm gonna keep doing that, and that's great. It makes me feel more like
I
myself,
must,
which
Right.
is also really
must.
important. And it soothes dysphoria and it creates euphoria, and that's amazing. But also it's the tits. Like I'm getting to a point where I don't even have to wear a bra, and I can hold my phone on my shirt, and that's so far away from being a 100 like a 90-pound boy, or somebody who was just like woke up and pretended to be a boy, and
Right.
was just like, does this feel right, or is this like a costume, for like 20 years. So but yeah, so that was good. And then I had a date with a fellow trans doll who I'd had a date with before when I went over to her house this time, and watched some anime. And
Nice.
I don't know much
Nice.
about anime, but I've always wanted to get into it. So
Did you like it?
I did.
Do you know what it was called?
She showed me the first episode of Kill la Kill.
Oh, Kill la Kill's so good.
Yeah, and
don't
it's
know that
one,
one
it's
yet.
been one that I've been interested in.
Yeah.
I just love the character design. And I know they pull out all the stops for a first episode, but like the animation was especially smooth.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
so good. and it's like so gay. Like the OC, who enters into a sapphic relationship down the line, I'm told, has a fucking weapon that's half a scissor, and she's looking for the other half. That is absolutely ridiculous. You couldn't get away with that.
That's fantastic.
I should make you watch it.
I haven't watched it. Yeah,
good.
But yeah, it's good. And there's a red streak of hair, which is really cool. I'm a sucker for streaks of color in hair, and I need to redone mine.
Yep. We were just literally just talking about how you haven't done your pink yet.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do a stripe of blue, so that we have our podcast colors.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
And then other than that, I have been really actively trying to let myself just take this summer off and not have to exert myself to get shitty on-demand online hours for tutoring that are just spread out and not worth the effort.
Yeah.
And just recover this time, because then I've worked more than enough in peak hours or peak season that I can let myself float, and I'm actually giving myself the faith to do that, because this is the first time that I've paid this much rent in my life. And it's it's about that time. I'm 23. But yeah, so that, I mean, that's been nice. It's given me a lot more self-trust, because I do know that I'm okay, and it's I'm watching the numbers go down in a way that's I'm used to, that I expected and I planned out, and that's really nice.
Right, it's not panic inducing.
Yeah. I mean, there is auxiliary panic, but it's just I'd be panicking about something made up if I wasn't panicking about a real world problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me it's arbitrary. It's kind of cool to actually be able to put effort towards it too.
Yeah.
So yeah. And yeah, hanging out with Kitty and replaying Fallout New Vegas has been kind of my plans.
Excellent.
Recently just been what I've been doing, and a lot of weed, because that's been helping my mental health.
Well, and I've talked about it before, that I use it for anxiety, because it helps me to pull myself out of my head and be able to lay the issue or what the occurrence flat, and be able to look at it from a distance and see more big picture stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely. I've been realizing I've had a lot of mental health epiphanies this week too, which I hope we can talk about. But that helps in part just cutting through the static. And I think really the only thing that's prevented me from using it as medicine more is social stigma.
Right.
And not because I'm afraid of any effects of it.
Yeah.
Because it's I'm at the max dose of sertraline. And that's not something I'm addicted to. That's something that I need to function.
Yeah.
So it's so arbitrary after that point to worry about the realm of addiction that by design, by OCD's design, you are so mindful of all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That it's a non-factor.
Right.
So yeah, I've just been kind of having those realizations and treating myself kindly, trying to.
Yeah.
Therapy has been nice.
Yes. You said something. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it.
You said something interesting earlier about realizing that your perspective isn't the whole truth. And that is something that we've talked about at length. And that was my huge learning moment years and years ago that helped me pull out of all of that. Was my husband sat down in the car and I was having a panic attack, and it was bad. I was melting down. And he just looked at me and was like, stop. Because you need to think maybe your perspective isn't reality. And my brain just came to this screeching halt. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's a possibility. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm okay.
Yeah. I had that realization when I had less of a realization like that, and more of just I realized in the opposite direction, operating on the assumption that the way that my lived experience is what most people go through. And it just isn't, because of all of my intersections. Right. But, I just realized I wasn't letting myself be disabled
Mm-hmm.
I had to make it a judgment. I was like, so if this is just how life feels
Yeah.
for a human being on Earth, I don't know how anybody fucking does it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it would leach into every facet of my life. Like I would like eat food, and I'd be like, wow, somebody was working in a factory, and then somebody like made this, and then somebody farmed all the materials. It's like, how do they do all that shit when they're going through like what I'm feeling right now? And
Right.
It's like they don't. Most people don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
And just realizing that.
We spent years fighting that assumption and just being like, we're just bad at life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We're like, maybe
there's something...
everybody feels the way I feel,
Right.
and I just can't handle it.
Why can't I keep up? Like,
There's something wrong in me because I can't handle
it's
it.
mental health bootstrap theory.
Everyone
But
else
it's like,
can handle it.
Just like the other bootstrap theory doesn't fucking make sense.
Right. Yeah. No, it's like, I think, and it's a different kind of self-awareness to be able to think, is my experience the same as the people around me?
Right.
Like, is my experience the same as my peers?
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, I don't know, it's a different kind of both self-awareness and empathy, I think.
Yeah.
Because we're constantly like trying to put ourselves in other people's shoes
Mm-hmm.
to see what that feels like and like judge our own experience side by side with it. Yeah, it's a fascinating thing. And I wonder like how many people wake up and they're like, does everyone feel the way that I feel? Because I feel messed up.
Yeah.
And if normal people don't even, if that doesn't even occur to them, like I'm so curious. It's such a weird thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the ways that I discovered dysphoria.
Right.
My own dysphoria was, so Summer was my partner before I transitioned to.
Mm-hmm.
Made her a lesbian. Fuck. Yes. But anyway, I would look at her dresses and I'd be like, I'm really into those. And at first I thought it was like fetishistic or kinky.
Right.
Which is always like the thing that trans girls are gaslit into thinking that they are. So there's a lot of internalized transphobia there. I was already feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, so are the people that have this kink like just the people that are brave enough to do it? Or no, is this like most sexual aberrations like a minority of people?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I opened myself up to that idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, so it's not that though, because it should bring me pleasure, whereas it's making me depressed.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so I look down at the skirt I'm wearing and I'm going like, that feels good. Actually, everything else sucks. And then from there I can, start like changing the way that I live.
Yeah.
And now I like dress. I mean, I've maintained
really well.
My baggy band shirt, skinny jeans, and Converse look from like when I was an alt rocker in high school.
Right.
But now I just do it like in a butch way, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did have that realization too of just like, and this has a lot to do with pride, and this has a lot to do with like intersectionality as well. Like, you are part of a minority group, and it doesn't make you weaker. Like, it doesn't necessarily make you at a disadvantage in life, but it's just like you are in a minority, and most people don't live like this.
Right.
Yep.
And it just started like, I didn't even have to think about that theoretically. I was just like, oh, so this is allowed to be hard then. Like, if this is an exceptional experience, this is allowed to be really difficult.
Oof. That hit me in a different way.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, wow. Like, that's, wow. That's
Right.
a different wording that I hadn't,
You hadn't
like,
thought of it
it's
that way.
allowed to be
allowed
hard.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, wow.
Like, it doesn't have to
I'm
be
gonna
a
cry
personal
now,
failing,
thanks.
right?
Whew.
Like,
Yeah.
It can just be shitty.
Right.
Yeah, and you just get
Well,
through
because
it.
so much of everything is like mask,
Yeah.
all the time forever.
Yeah.
And then, like, you feel guilty when you unmask.
Yeah.
And so, like, a lot of our experience in the last year has been, like, dismantling all of those masks and living honestly, I guess.
Yeah.
We're anti-maskers on this
Right. Because it just takes so much energy. And if you're a spoonie, you get it.
Yeah.
Like, masking takes it out of you and then makes you feel that, like, heavy depression. Like, it's not,
Oh, yeah.
whew. Because
Yeah.
you're not living honestly. You're not living authentically. And you're like forcing yourself into a tiny box.
Well,
that
sometimes you don't
doesn't
even
fit
realize
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're just depressed and you're masking.
Yeah, half the time you don't realize there is an outside of that tiny little
Exactly.
box.
Yeah.
You're just like, I live here, I guess. I don't know. Other
Mhm.
people seem
Yeah.
fine with it.
It's like, imagine if somebody, like a pedestrian was hit by a car, and they were to, in the process of their recovery, like guilt themselves for being hit by a
Right.
car. Like it was a personal failing that I didn't see that it was coming, or that I was listening to my music too loud and I didn't hear it,
Mm-hmm.
or I whatever,
It
right?
goes back to that blame factor.
Right. Like
Yeah.
it not only makes it a pain issue, but it makes it like a self-esteem issue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like when you feel like you deserve to feel more pain, you just let yourself feel more of it.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't mean to make you cry this early.
Oh my god, that was I don't know. It just
I
like
think about this shit all the
it
time.
clicks. Like, you know, when you hear something like 100 ways and you're like,
Yep.
yep, cool,
Yeah.
yep, cool, yep,
Yeah.
cool, and then you turn it just tiny bit sideways and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, there's a puzzle piece to my whole brain. What the heck?
Yeah. You gotta have those
Yeah.
realizations.
Yeah.
That was like intense and crazy and weird. But yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's a lot of what we're trying to do and trying to accomplish
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
like, let's live authentically and then teach other people that it's okay and we're
Yeah.
allowed to struggle
Mhm.
because everybody's struggling
Yes.
in different ways. But if we can open that up and let people see the suffering around them,
Mhm.
then we could all collectively feel less alone
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
and more supported and more empathy for each other. And that in and of itself changes the culture that we live in,
Mhm.
right? If
Absolutely.
we can all feel empathy for each other and back and forth, like everything comes crashing down in a good way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. The bad things crash down.
Right.
Things that are good to crash down. Yeah, I totally agree. And that's really affirming to hear because like seeing everything going around me, especially being a trans woman. But then just also just like having basic empathy for people.
Right.
Like it often feels like pedantic or like a luxury
Mhm.
to like it's just like, yeah, this is my way of contributing. I'm
Right.
like making myself have fun and I'm like trying to teach that to others. And it's like, okay, also, you know, this is what I tell myself. Some people are busting their ass and are like killing themselves for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so is this enough? And it's like, yeah, it is.
Right.
Like we all have the choices that we make and we're all content with certain things that we do.
Yeah.
And it's like some people are, you know, stuck to certain shitty choices that some
Mhm.
other of us will never have to make.
Right.
But they're not feeling any better you feeling shitty about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
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 So it's like be the best that you can be so that your cup naturally overflows into that cup that's shriveling
Mm-hmm.
all the
Right.
way down here.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you look at the world and people are like, oh, we can't change it all, so let's not try. But
Right.
when you're
Uh-huh.
like, hey, what about that tiny itty bitty corner that you live in?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like, you could make that tiny little bitty corner better.
Yeah.
And that would be enough.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
Yes.
Like, let that be enough and then it will spread.
Mhm.
Like, we don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do it all
Mhm.
at once. Like, baby steps.
Oh.
Baby steps, friends. But I think the generations coming after us are in it. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of empathy.
Well, y'all
In
are
those
millennials,
next-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm technically Gen Z.
Yeah.
But
There's
yeah.
a lot of empathy in Gen
Absolutely.
Z and in Gen A as they're coming up.
Yeah.
And
And millennials too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we're starting to learn that, like, that's not a weakness.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
Empathy is not a weakness.
Yeah.
But society teaches us that it is,
Mhm.
or that we will be taken advantage of, or, and in some ways we are, because we are compassionate and empathetic, but that's only because of the systems that we live in that were
Mhm.
designed to do exactly that.
Yeah.
So
And then saying it just becomes a circle, right? It's like,
Yeah.
so if I were to say, oh, that system is bad, the solution is just like, okay, but like deal with it.
Right.
It's like, no, but like that system is bad for everybody.
right,
Like
is broken.
if you're benefiting from that system, like you're shriveled up inside somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're not living. It's not joyful.
Right.
I
Right.
can't imagine. So yeah, it's like obviously it benefits certain people more than others, and like dismantling that system. But it's like also I think that we do need to talk more about that. Like I think that neurotypical people, like, they benefit from it, but it also like sucks.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't have to stick with it.
Right.
And I think that a world without it would be better for them too. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and I think if we could get beyond the idea that like neurotypical is the standard,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
If we could dismantle there being a standard, people could be people.
Yeah, imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Instead of this like, oh, we have these systems that were designed by type A for type A, and now everyone live in it, have fun. Good luck. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, if you're type B, just erase B,
right?
and just like put A.
No,
Just
you
put
need
A,
you need to be an A.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're bad. It's time to
Except
go to timeout forever.
Instead of like erasing a letter, it's erasing your entire personhood and then starting from scratch.
Yeah, rebuilding yourself.
Yeah, pretty easy
To fit.
expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then later having to go back and uncover yourself, like it's archaeological dig,
Oh
and
yeah.
then you're like, oh, hey,
Imagine
forgot
that.
about this.
I forgot about that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
have those experiences all the time. Yeah. Especially being trans, like I'm like, oh, that was a very much repressed
Right.
queer experience back there. That was definitely me reaching out for help, like wanting to be a girl, but not really feeling like I could. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
All
the
the
It's got to be
hindsight
really
is
intense,
crazy.
like seeing everything through the lens now.
Yeah, it is. So I think about how the experience of like, so you don't necessarily have to when you come out as trans, but like, assuming that you change your name, right? And you don't want to be called your old name anymore. That's why you changed it. Like, so even that way, you were called that old name for the majority of your life. Like on the day that you come out, it was the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And there's really, I can't think of many other experiences where it's just so consistent. Like from birth, you are trying to erase and rebuild these experiences. And it's beautiful. Like I'm really grateful for it. But yeah, I mean, it's also really stressful.
Yeah.
Especially because then, you know, so first of all, there's this feeling of you are a different person now, but that sort of idea that you tell yourself, and that you rationalize in order to like live with like your new self, kind of mirrors the way that you talk about people who have like done bad things in the past.
Oh yeah. I can see that, yeah.
And it's like that can cause a lot of self-blame. My wires get crossed there a lot. It's like I'm not trying to erase this because I regret anything.
Right.
I'm trying to replace these years because of just pain was just set on me. And it's like it comes from the fault of nobody.
Right.
But that was like the first thing that came up to my parents is like just like defensiveness.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, oh, how didn't we know? But
like
it's like
feeling guilty.
it's like
yeah.
okay, like you were also born into a system that assigns gender. You were also born into any of these things. These things started way beyond you. What I would regret if I were a parent and a kid was coming out to me and I was straight, oh God forbid. Sorry. But anyway, so if I was doing that, the last thing that I want to do is like take away the moment that I do like know it. It's like if I know it, then it's like, okay, great, I know it now. Like generally when people make discoveries, they're proud of what they've discovered and they write it down and they never have to like apologize for it.
Right.
So it should be like the same way here. But yeah, like another problem with it was, you know, being cis and especially being like an authority figure or like a person that is looked up to by a trans person. It's like holy shit, it doesn't look like sunshine and rainbows for trans people. And it's like that's fucking scary. And it's like I get why cis people would go like holy shit. I would also have I had a similar crisis when I was first getting into anti-racism. I was like, holy shit, these are just experiences that are like so fucking normal.
Yeah.
For people with darker skin than me, and that like sucks. And there is that feeling of like just imagining yourself in that pain, and then like realizing that you had to imagine yourself in that pain, and that feels selfish. And it's like all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's super complex and individual for each person. But yeah, there was that experience as well, and then that makes you feel guilty for it too. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking about like connotations.
Okay.
You know, what the connotation of a trans person is before you transition.
Yeah.
And the connotation that a trans person has to deal with from the moment that they live as trans, like, how do I explain it? So, I had a good way to explain it. It's okay. So I am right now medically, similar to both menopausal women and like prepubescent girls.
Okay.
Because of the way that my hormones are at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my second puberty, which means that emotionally, I'm having the same realizations and longings as I did when I was like a 13-year-old boy.
Right.
And that most 13-year-old girls go through. So I can reclaim that experience. I can soothe my inner child.
Oh, okay.
And I'm called by society, given laws that are being passed against children transitioning and trans women being in public restrooms, a child groomer for it. That's the way to cope with this thing that if the cis want to acknowledge is a disorder, this is the way to soothe it, is to go through second puberty and start over.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you can't do that because then it's like weirdly fetishistic, or it's like it's like you think of yourself as a child and you're having the same sexual longings as a child, but you're an adult.
Right.
And that can't stand. But it's like, this is the treatment that I'm going for in a country where this is like one of the few options for me to be able to assimilate into it. So, I do notice like, a dual consciousness about it, about just like, this was the way that I was before. Do I call myself a girl or do I misgender myself? Because neither of those feel accurate. And it's just like this weird block that you have to navigate around, except that block is most of your experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have to subdivide, like, oh, so this is something that I've learned from it, but I'm not going to think about the experience of learning it because I was a different person then.
Okay.
And it's really stressful. I mean, it's also like, it's an epiphany moment. That's cool. You know, that's not really an experience that most people get to go through. It does feel a lot like life flashing through your eyes and just like and then you get to rebuild yourself. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And that is a privilege, but wow, does that privilege come with like so many fucking oppressions too.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
And we've talked about like the dichotomy of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
How, I don't know, it's in my brain, there's this like image of us walking side by side with this like shadow of ourselves,
Right.
like that child that I was once upon a time. Am I that child anymore? No, like absolutely not. I've moved past a lot of the trauma that created that person, and fueled that person and blinded that person. But they're always still there, right? It's like it's like having a shadow. So I don't know how to put it, but it's an interesting, I don't know.
I like
if you could see my brain, it would be great.
Right. The visuals.
I know.
I like the idea of an inner child. Like, my therapist told me this, where it's like, you are an adult. You don't have to infantilize yourself. But adulthood is like a shell growing around your childhood self.
Yeah.
Yes.
That you build up through so many years of experiences and gaining resilience.
Yeah.
But that child is still like in there and deserves to be heard. That's kind of how I think about it, because like, yeah, it's especially in my position, it feels often precarious to feel like, oh my God, does me romanticizing experiences that I'm having now that remind me of childhood, is that like fucked up? Like, I have been thinking about I'm poly, so I have a boyfriend in Maryland, and when I see him, he wanted to like do a second prom because he was also pre-transition during his high school prom.
Okay.
And it's like, I really want to do that, but he's also my boyfriend and he's sexy,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't want to mix those up, but it's like, I'm not. I'm
No,
an
I
adult
think
right now.
You are literally reclaiming experiences.
Yeah, it's
that you missed
for sure. And I know
lost.
those things logically.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is that like crisis of, like,
Am I trying to be that child
exactly
again?
Right.
Yeah, and there's guilt associated with that, and it uncovers all of the feelings that you felt back then.
Right.
And it's like, if you felt dysphoric as default back then, even if you didn't realize that it was,
Mhm.
And this is not the experience of all trans people, it's just as valid to just like feel really good in different clothes that you haven't worn before, or like be called a name, or be, gendered on accident as something that you're not, and then go like, oh, that fucks though. Like, I want to do that more. But yeah, like, if your experience isn't that, then it's like, it brings up just the same pain.
Yeah.
That, the
That's
inner
really
child
interesting.
Yeah.
pushing forward out of your ribcage and going like, girl, deal with this.
Right.
And it's like, okay, but like, I'm
Yeah.
also still kind of you though. And if it hurts for you, it's got to hurt for me too, right? So yeah, something to navigate.
That's
for sure.
so interesting. Because for me, it's like, I don't know, it's almost the same way that I view the body, right?
Okay.
So the body and I are two different entities. We are not at all the same thing. I am not the body is not me.
Right.
I couldn't be the body or I wouldn't survive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't live
Right.
being the body. But at the same time, it's like holding hands with this small child
Mm-hmm.
and walking your life with this like explosive kid attached to your arm that you're just dragging around everywhere, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to get down on your knees and you have to look that kid in the face and you have to soothe them
Right.
and do
Yeah.
what they need.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just, but the same kind of goes for that inner child.
Yeah.
Because I wonder, oh no. I wonder if I have kind of stowed the inner child away with the body and separated from her
Right.
in the same way that I separated from the body. So the inner child is the body and I am not.
Right.
And it's something to deal with and not nurture.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's interesting. I'll have to
could
ask
be-
my therapist
Yeah.
about that.
I mean, I think if you're having that realization, there's some
There's
truth
something
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
that,
think they're
that thought
there's
went
definitely
noticed.
some truth.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sting to know that. It's
Uh-huh.
just an interesting, because it's the same way. When I have to deal with my inner child, it's like, all right, kiddo, let's go. Like,
Yeah,
get down
we're gonna
on
get some
there.
French
Like,
fries.
what do you need?
it'll
Can
be
you
okay.
do you need a hug? Can we calm down? What are we doing?
Uh-huh.
So, but I deal
Interesting,
with the
yeah.
body and the inner child the exact same way, which is fascinating
Yeah.
Yeah.
to me.
I can relate more with Lulu's example.
Really?
Yeah. Like being the child, but then having the layers of adulthood on top.
Yeah.
Makes,
Mm-hmm.
like that is very much how I function.
See, but I feel like I created a different child.
Right. You've
Yeah. Like,
separated.
Yeah.
but I am still a child.
Right.
And I like fully embrace that. I'm like, I am not growing up. Fuck you all.
Yeah.
I climbed up on my roof yesterday just because I wanted to. And I
Yes.
looked at my husband and I was like, this is going to sound childish. But I'm an adult and I would like to lay on my roof. And he was like,
Hell yeah.
okay, don't fall. So I got up on the roof
Yeah.
and I laid on the roof and watched the stars and hung
sounds
out in the
awesome.
wind. And
That yeah.
That's
Like,
great.
so I feel
Hell yeah.
like it's like a blend of the two, really. 'Cause
Yeah. 'Cause
like
you're
I'm
still-
reclaiming
Yeah.
childhood
And
in a
that's-
way.
I like your image too, because like you're holding onto the child, like the child is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you have to appeal to the child to get
Right.
shit done.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
It's like,
That's
otherwise
exactly how it
it's
is.
like a handicap, and it's going to be more of a handicap
Right.
the more
Yep.
that you realize that you hate
Right.
it.
Well, and that's the thing is like, would I I don't know, like the true disdain has passed because I would not treat a child that way.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't have that like horrible disdain for myself that I used to have. Thank God, because that was destructive.
Right.
But yeah, it's like you have to appeal to this kid and be like, all right, what are we going to be able to do today? Can you hold it together?
Yes.
No, you're crying. Why are you crying?
Right.
You broke a
Right.
fingernail? Sweetie, that's not...
Yeah.
No, we're going to keep going.
I hear that you're crying in this Home Depot.
Yes, you're like,
the
I
adult
hear you.
is soon going to be crying in this Home Depot, and that's going to be embarrassing for the both of us.
You're like, I hear you. I really
So
do.
here I am.
Yeah.
Tell me what you need.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very much like that.
And yeah, for me, it's usually food. But
There you go. Exactly. You're like, what do you want to eat?
it's also
so
medication
you can calm
and
the
a
fuck
rigorous
down.
fucking therapy regimen.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not rigorous, but I've just been there for a while. So
See, I have a problem with therapy because I do things like this, where I like discover things on my own, and then they're
It's
like,
like a-
"Why are you in
yeah.
therapy?" And I'm
you
like,
spoiled it.
"I need it. Okay, I do need it. I'm
Yeah.
just good
What if
at,
you have like a
talking
really
myself through it."
destructive version of that? Like you need therapy just in
Yeah.
case to guide you.
right?
Yeah. Because
And
you
I
can
want to
take a
know I'm
wrong
not
turn.
crazy.
Oh,
I need
yeah,
people
it
to
could- it
like
could be your
confirm
paranoia.
Yeah.
that I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
That's
That
good.
helps a lot.
And I mean, the way that I figured that out was like, I started baseline like, okay, I might not be crazy. I certainly was crazy, because that explains all this pain. That explains all this difficulty in doing
Mhm.
things that other people found really easy. Whatever, right? And then it's like, okay, but crazy isn't a value judgment. Crazy isn't just like a thing that you can make fun of. Like, crazy is a thing that people go through.
Mm-hmm.
And crazy is something that people just like you go through, with the same complex feelings, the same fucking hot takes,
Yep.
same favorite Pokemon game. And like, then you can go like, okay, so I'm not crazy in the sense that I knew it.
Mm.
Like I'm not negative crazy.
Right.
Like I'm
Right.
just mentally ill. And
See,
then it's
and-
like from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for us, we had to come to terms with that a lot because like mental health was used as a weapon for a long time,
Yeah.
and so it took a lot of work to kind of dispel that for ourselves and go like,
Mhm.
okay, no, this is what's going to help me
Yeah.
and help me build tools and talk through things that I needed to talk through without
Yeah.
trauma dumping on people,
Right.
because
You don't
normal
like just
people don't
giving
like
everyone your
to
entire
hear
story.
about those things.
Like, here, this is the horrible things that have happened to me.
Yeah. I'm
I
an
just-
NPC that you won't meet in the overworld.
Yeah.
I'm just on the tutorial island, so I got to give you my whole backstory.
Yeah.
Because it comes up in a character that's related to me
Right?
Later.
but you're not going to have a chance to
You
talk to
you
me.
need
Right.
this
So,
for
yeah.
later.
That's trauma
Yeah.
dumping, but in a video game way.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. No.
Um,
But yeah,
Yeah.
therapy is mint. I've said it on this channel before, and I will say it again and forever. If you're alive in 2022, you need a therapist.
uh-huh.
So do that.
So, you mentioned used as a weapon, and it like so is, and this is something that I was talking about with Summer. By the same people who use it as a weapon, it's also used as like an excuse
Mm.
for your behavior, or like a
Yes.
reason why it's not good enough of a reason. Like,
Mm.
like okay, it's like, oh, you're crazy, like whatever, right? And then if you're going through something that same person finds like not as difficult to
Mhm.
deal with,
Mhm.
then they go like, oh yeah, this is something that we all go through.
Right.
And it's like, if this is something that we all go through, do you just hate everybody?
Yes.
Right.
Well, and this is the problem that I see a lot with older generations, especially, is that whole like, well, I had to suffer through my mental health being shit, and then, like, I had to pull it together and lift myself up by the bootstraps. So therefore, A, it's not difficult,
Mm-hmm.
and B, everyone should have to suffer because I had to suffer.
You compounded it. It's worse
Yes.
because
Yep.
you went through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because generational trauma is absolutely
Uh-huh.
a thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Holy cow. And we know this, like, the more trauma there is in our past, in our, like, genealogy, the worse it gets down the line unless the cycle is broken.
Yeah.
And that takes work and
Uh-huh.
effort and confronting things that you don't want to confront and
Yeah.
no one wants
Mhm.
to confront, and
Yeah.
understanding truths about yourself and the world that your parents didn't and couldn't.
Yeah.
And your biology is changed by witnessing trauma.
Mm-hmm.
You can view trauma on a screen and be like, there could be no physical sensation from it or repercussions of it.
Like,
and you're like, on a molecular level, you have changed by seeing it.
Yeah.
It's like a poison, and
well,
it needs to be cured.
Our whole, I don't know, our whole biology is to keep the next generation alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we absolutely send genetic messages down the line.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's why we have things like where certain people hold on to more fat even because they've been through famine, or their families have been through famine in the past. And so they get this little extra bit in their genealogy that says, hold on to that, and we're going to need it.
Need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your brain does the same thing. And we know that, like, ACE is too high is... do you know that one? The study?
I've heard of it. Remind me.
So ACE is too high talks about adverse childhood experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And then it talks about how those experiences can just exponentially increase your chances for not only mental health events, but biological events like heart attacks and diabetes and a stroke and all of these different things. And increases your chances of addiction and increases your chances of suicidality and like so on and so forth down the line. And the more adverse childhood experiences you have, the worse it is biologically.
Yeah.
And then we know on the other side of that the antidote for ACEs is resilience and empathy.
Yeah.
And
But
that's, we know these things, but our society is so, I don't know, so stagnant.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like not ready to move and change. And I'm like, no, it's time.
Yeah, and even
It's
like
time.
even like from progressive people, there's that element of like, okay, things are better now. I know it to be better now. And it's like the challenges are so fucking unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one generation's atom bomb is this generation's fucking climate crisis.
Yeah.
And it's like one was a possibility, the other we know is fucking coming.
Yep.
So it's like totally incomparable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like I like stagnant because when progress is made, there's like a societal push to be hostile towards thinking about it anymore.
Right.
I mean, that's applicable to racism. It's like, oh, this thing happened centuries ago. Or it's applicable to sexism. It's like, oh, men granted women's rights like so long ago. And it's applicable to like everything. And it's just like, okay, A, not fucking paying attention. B, if it were true, if you've recovered from brain cancer still sucks.
Yes.
And you have to talk about it still.
Yeah.
Like, it causes you pain even if the pain isn't the tumor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like,
You're like, I got bit by a rattlesnake in my garden. We're not talking about rattlesnakes ever
shut
again.
the fuck up.
There
Oh my
are no
God.
rattlesnakes.
What rattlesnakes?
I'm tired of rattlesnakes. I'm tired of you bringing up rattlesnakes.
Every time.
Everybody your age.
Just every
That
It's like,
rattlesnake.
so what that my generation unleashed rattlesnakes across the fucking globe. Okay?
Yeah.
Where do you think they came from? They came
like,
from the two
I got
that
bit
we
once
breeded
and it wasn't even
and
that
created
bad.
a unique problem for your generation.
Yeah.
That's not like an analogy of anything, by the way. Don't read it. It's just a nonsense bit.
Okay. Y'all think it's time for a break?
Yes.
I think we've
It's a good
done
break.
about an hour.
Yeah.
And really good conversation. I'm really enjoying it. But
Me too.
let's take a breather.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Do you know what they need to do?
Oh, okay. Take your meds.
Yes.
Drink water. Eat something if you haven't, and if you're hungry.
Yeah.
And be kind to yourself.
Yes, absolutely. You're
Nailed it.
the best.
Did I fucking nail
Nobody
it?
Yeah,
else
hell
has
yeah.
got that far ever.
No.
Yay!
Austin got close.
Austin did get close.
He got close.
So yes, be good to you, be good to others, and we will see you in a moment. Fantastic Pains now has merch. I know we've been promising it for a while, but it is here. You can find our stuff at fantastic-pains.creator-spring.com. We have t-shirts, hoodies, leggings, wine coolers, I guess you can call them, and my very favorite backpack. So take a minute, go check us out.
Welcome back. How was your break? Ours was nice and sunny
Yes.
and relaxing.
Hot.
Yeah, very hot.
And then to cold.
Didn't trigger you at all.
No. My movement disorder is acting up.
I just realized how hard I was crossing my legs the whole
Oh,
time
no.
I was sitting down. So I'm dealing with a little bit of calf pain, but it's fine.
I did the same
That's
thing.
me. Every time
I stood up and was like, oh, that was painful.
Every time
didn't
I
move
sit
at
on my
all.
feet, and then I'm like, oh, my
Yeah, I
feet.
was doing like the muscle relaxation technique, except
Yeah.
not relaxing.
You just tense forever.
Yeah.
I don't like that one because I wind up dislocating
Yeah.
when they're like tense and
Yeah.
release, and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
bad things have happened. Never mind.
Yeah.
I will not be doing that again. Yeah. So welcome back. I hope you did stuff and you took care of you. We looked after ourselves, and we have some really interesting ideas for our second half.
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
Talk about it.
Tell them about it.
Well, let's see. These two, I'm assuming, yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so we want to dive back into identity and labels to see like where we're at a year later.
Yeah.
After the last discussion, and then talking about abuse and diagnosis,
Yes.
which would be very interesting.
And like delay in diagnosis and how that
Yes.
plays into things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So starting with identity and labels, I know last year, this time, close to this time of year, we dove into it, and I had this like visceral aversion to labels of any kind.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting to like kind of do that introspection 1 year later, because yeah, it's definitely different.
Oh yeah, I feel more comfortable with labels too. Like I wasn't against it. I just hadn't labeled things
Right.
in my life.
Right.
Right.
Like we never felt the need, and then when people are like, you need them, and I was like, but no.
Yeah.
I do not wish it.
Mm-hmm.
Not want. Yeah, no, it's definitely different than it was. Because I think before, labels to me felt like that box that someone was trying to stuff me into. And I'm like, but
Yeah.
that's not all of me. Why would
Yeah.
you know? That doesn't...
It can feel tokenizing.
Yes. And I was like, I don't want that. Like, can I just be me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, without the labels? Do I need labels to be me? And then Vizzy, our guest last year, explained in just a different way that kind of made sense. That was like, labels are tools to help you interact with other people. And that makes a lot more sense for me.
Yeah.
And fits better for my brain, because for me, I don't feel like I am something. I'm never am.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm always doing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I am a verb. And so it's hard for me to like accept labels as a whole, because it feels confining.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah.
labels have you adopted?
Well, I'm definitely bi. We already kind of knew that.
You're
but
leaving?
bi.
Sorry, I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
It was so easy.
I'm
I was
out.
waiting for it the whole time. Sorry.
I'm bi. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
You didn't finish your thought. You're what?
I'm
Just the ultimate
tired.
bi erasure. Just like, no, I'm not picking up what you're saying. Like,
what?
This is the part
Bisexual?
where
No, you
we
can't call
ignore
me
each
that.
other.
That's yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, no, definitely bi. Disabled also feels less threatening,
Yeah.
for sure. And I can admit that, like, not admit, but I can identify with having disabilities
Yeah.
and multiple disabilities, and being disabled and not feeling guilty or like I'm taking away from someone else
Mhm.
when accepting that label. I'm trying to think of other ones, but not so much. There's not been a whole lot in
No,
my life.
those have been like the big ones.
Yeah.
Like
How about you?
I'm same. I can take disabled a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a judgment.
Yeah.
It's just a state of being.
Right.
And then, like I said earlier, I can take, like, I'm okay being pan-romantic or pansexual. Like, that doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
Before I was iffy. Like, I didn't feel like I had the right to say it. You know what I mean? Like,
Interesting.
because I'm with Jen.
Oh, yes.
Right?
It's
So I'm
like,
in this hetero-looking relationship.
Yeah.
But,
ditto.
right.
Yeah.
That's bi self erasure.
Mhm.
internalized biphobia. It's like,
Exactly.
it's just as queer if you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there was something else I thought of, but I lost it. Annoying, maybe.
Annoying. Bipolar.
Oh yeah, I can totally wear that.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier too.
Right.
And it didn't really bother me last year. I just wasn't labeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we talked in the bipolar episode, like it's just a fact.
Right. Well, it's like CPTSD.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just it. Just is. It is a thing that is. And I mean, for us, it's always been so weird because we kind of grew up in this silo, like this bubble.
Yeah.
Of lack of information.
Yeah.
And so by the time we were exposed to anything, we were like,
right.
I don't need that. I don't know. Yeah. But it doesn't feel confining anymore. It feels more... It is a tool to help other people understand where I'm coming from.
Yes.
And so I can wear it that way and use it that way. And that is comfortable and it feels okay.
Yeah.
Like it's not... Because it always felt like I was like stealing something from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, we did
so
that with
like,
EBS
I'm
for
in
the
a like
longest time
hetero
too.
relationship because
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely.
But I've started to think about it in the sense of if you are an identity to me, especially being queer, is a lot of the times like a community label.
Yeah.
Like you just have the best interests of people like you. At heart, because you are that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are ways to expand beyond that. There are just ways to like, if you're white, like don't be fucking racist, like because it's better for everybody, right? But but it also starts as a community building tool because like there are things that queer people need that straight people will never need, and that's important to talk about.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a separatist to believe that you can be bounded together by a common like form of oppression or a form of like culture. And it is an exclusion, but it's just maintaining that group.
Right.
So I think about it in the sense of like, I can't be an imposter because I'm not going into this community to take from it.
Right.
Like I'm going into this community because I share a common struggle.
Right.
And that's not something you can make up. Like that's just a lived experience.
Right. Well, it's like when we talk about exposing the suffering so that like we can find our people, we can find the people that relate to those common struggles.
Yeah.
And like for us, it's been through lots of physical ailment. Like we've been through all of that and like talked about how similar things can be, even if they're different conditions.
Right.
But people don't know that until we start talking about what's wrong, right? We don't. It's, but I get that it's, and I hadn't really thought about it because I'm antisocial. I'm like I like people inconvenience, I guess.
Right.
But I don't seek people out. So for me, it's not been like a community tool, and I hadn't thought about it that way. But that makes perfect sense to like find your people.
No, for sure.
Find people that understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. And I think on the note of like finding similarities, even like across intersections or diagnoses or whatever.
Yeah.
Before I came out, had this similar idea of like choosing a label would be like choosing a faction.
Oh yeah.
But it's like hanging out with people my age, Gen Z, especially like being an English major where like everybody was a woman and everybody was a queer woman, and so was I just didn't know it. But they adopted me and made that change. So
right.
Yes.
There's like people can be like bi-pan. It's just like, oh, I mean, bisexual means like attraction to somebody because of their gender, and that can be any gender. And then pan people are like attracted to somebody despite or irregardless of gender.
Right.
But it's like those, like what the authority in it isn't like what Merriam-Webster decided it was.
Right.
It was just like what people are living as.
Right.
And those definitions aren't going to fit all or even most bi pan people respectively, right? So it's just like combine them.
Right.
It's like the language is a tool, and it's like if somebody's been using this tool all wrong, they've been like grabbing it by the metal part. It's like, okay, but if you're still like hammering in the wooden part in with a nail or whatever, it's like, use a saw that way. Fucking go for it. Sounds
Right.
fun.
Right.
And yeah, that's kind of the way I think about it. It's like,
That's really
I like
interesting.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
just reclaim it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think it's important to know that like words are just words, and they can only encompass so much.
Yeah.
Because words are inherently limiting, right? Like language is limiting because we don't have words for things.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to describe those common experiences
Right.
without the use of labels and tools like that.
And a lot of it is by design. This is a colonizer language.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, the language was developed by a status quo that doesn't have people like us in mind.
Right. Oh yeah.
Or
absolutely.
actively antagonistic against us. So if we
Right.
don't have a word for something, it's like, there was a language that had a word for that.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, and I feel like our
Yeah.
language is specifically like we have a huge problem with, because of language, othering.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of othering that goes on just because the language is limiting.
Yeah.
Like we can't accurately communicate similarities, but we can definitely separate people into little groups.
Yes.
And
Yeah, we don't have a thing that we can turn to and like, this is little, because that's relative. But
Mhm.
we sure as shit know that little isn't big.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
It's like comparative
yeah.
language.
It's like
yeah.
post-structuralist literary criticism.
Yeah. We
Not
got
to-
the English
I have
major coming
I
out
have a
now.
fucking bachelor's degree. Don't worry about it. Like it's still a great degree, but it's like I'm not treating myself as an expert. I'm just
That's okay. I love words.
being
Like,
hoity-toity for the fun of it.
I passed my GED, and I was the first person they had seen who got 100% on the English section
Nice.
in the
Hell yeah.
GED. Because I love words. I don't necessarily love words, but I love the idea of words.
Yeah.
And I love that humans are so obsessed with creating words and
Mhm.
naming things. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And my brain is made of words and mostly memes.
Oh yeah, we didn't ask Lulu the
Oh,
important question.
yeah. Here's the important question. Do you have an internal monologue?
Oh, yeah, I do have an internal monologue. It's mean.
It's
It's pretty mean.
I get that.
I used to name them, but they're so amorphous.
Mm-hmm.
And just so actively antagonistic that I
Mm.
can't really put a solid thing on it. I suppose some people call them Satan and act as if that's the case. I do not.
Right.
I don't know what it is. For me, it's... So, I mean, I do have... As a teenager, my internal monologue was a woman's voice, and I found that curious.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
And I would, because I was like autistic and like budding OCD or whatever, I would like really obsess over that. Like I would change it,
Mm.
and then I would only realize that it had changed back when I wasn't paying attention to it. Right.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, mine is just like so amorphous. Like it kind of sounds like me. And I mean, that's been difficult because I a lot of the times avoid listening to myself talk
Mm.
because of dysphoria, but that's gotten a lot better.
Good.
But yeah, otherwise it's just like a lot of shit going on up there. It's more so like ideas being expressed. It's pretty abstract, but
Right.
I think. But
So
yeah,
you're
I
kind
don't
of
think
back
in
and forth.
I don't think in sentences. It's kind of the reason why I like writing, especially like poetry, where it's
Mhm.
like a whole syntactical structure like isn't necessary. It's like
Right.
the same thing with my mind, right? If I'm translating directly from that, it's a lot easier, and then having to put it into a sentence is extra work.
Right.
That's interesting. That's like Jen.
I was gonna say Jen
Yeah.
does the exact same thing.
Right.
Where
Word.
she has more. She doesn't really have any internal dialogue, and she loves writing.
Yeah,
That is her outlet. If she can, she'll write.
yeah, and it's like giving a voice to that,
Mm-hmm.
and that can be comforting. But yeah, I mean, I also it's just like it feels natural.
Yeah.
I guess. It's just one of those. It's like if fingerprints were actually different across people, because like, sorry, but you have identical fingerprints to somebody in the world. That's a myth, or like the other one was a myth that yours are
Oh,
totally
like
unique.
unique,
completely
yeah.
Yeah,
unique.
yeah, because they're not. But
Do you
the
know
one that is
koala
unique,
bears
I
have
think.
human fingerprints.
Yeah.
and often dirty up crime scenes.
Who?
Koala bears.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's the
That's
funniest
so
thing.
cool.
They will ruin
Yeah.
crime scenes because their fingerprints look like human fingerprints.
That's awesome.
It's the funniest thing.
It's like, to koalas, humans are the ultimate criminals.
Yeah.
It's like, you fucking destroyed my house.
Mm-hmm.
If they could think that far at all, they're kind of dumb.
I think they do,
That's
but I don't.
rock
I
brain.
think if you were to ask them their internal monologue,
They would
have
just
a
be
lot to say.
screaming.
Yeah.
But the way that they would say it is, they would just like kind of hang out and eat eucalyptus.
Right.
See, and my brain is like, I don't know, because I have ADHD. And yeah, that's another label that would like, I'm happy to take on. That one helps me to
I'm
explain
no
to
longer
other people.
adjacent.
Yeah.
I've adopted the full moniker.
When we started this podcast, he
I
wasn't willing to admit that he was ADHD.
Well,
So he would say,
I didn't have the diagnosis, so I didn't feel cool like just saying it, you know?
Uh-huh.
I had to wait till I got the diagnosis. So I was neuroadjacent up until I
Got
have
it.
the actual diagnosis. So
Got it.
Sorry, coffee. Can you help me?
yeah, I can help you. Did you shake it? Do you want me to shake it?
Yeah, please. Oh yeah, brain made of words.
Yeah.
But my brain is like, I don't know. It's like it likes to take things and like turn them over and feel them and hear them and see them and like work through them and think about them spatially and like collect every detail of something, even something like super inane, like just dumb, just super dumb. I'm like the word Protestant, and I'll like obsess over the word for like 45 minutes in my brain doing nothing else.
Right.
It's just made of words, and it's busy, and it like super ADHD in the way that like it wants to, I don't know, it wants something to do and something to play with and something to fidget with.
Yeah.
So I essentially have brain fidget that happens all the time, and then I'm singing 4 songs and combining 2 of them, and like
oh, you do mashups?
it's a carnival. Oh yeah.
That's
it's
fucking
obnoxious.
Awesome. Remix.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't
Where I'm
sound
like,
fun.
those are not the lyrics. That's a completely different song. What
Yeah,
are you
Blank
doing
to the
right
tune of
now?
Blank.
Yeah.
Or just like the Mario theme song, but it's all profanity.
Great. Now
So
that is
fun.
literally playing in my head.
No, my brain went to the
I'm
dinosaurs.
surprised you actually have not. That seems like Summer and I stim that to each other all the time.
That's hilarious.
It's like so just part of my life now.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
It's so fun to fill in the words of the Mario theme song.
What was the Jurassic Park?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
That one too, for different reasons. That's got like the long notes,
Yeah.
and then Mario's got like the thin pointy notes. You can just put a syllable in.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Well, and then
It's
when I'm
perfect.
alone or in pain,
Yeah.
I sing to myself
Yep.
continually. And I don't realize I'm doing it. I just start singing because
Yeah.
I'm like, my brain hurts and my body hurts, and now we're singing a song about whatever I'm doing at the
It's
moment.
like a original
Uh-huh.
off the cuff improv.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hell
Or
yeah. Do you
I
ever
am
play like Wonderwall or whatever? Oh, okay.
No, Wonderwall.
Wow.
That's my reaction to that. Sorry.
Karina says, if you like Oasis, unsubscribe.
Yeah. I need to leave. We have some conflicts now.
Those two brothers
is where
that
we
hate
die.
each other. Yeah. If you like Oasis, hate Oasis, you can hang.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Got to change some worldviews
You can
real
only
quick.
hang with one of us at a time. We're gonna do the podcast and like switching out now.
Okay.
I don't know. No, but my brain is like, it's always busy. It's always doing something.
yeah.
And so it's hard to like nail down what's happening because I'm like 4 steps ahead of where it translates to
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
And then I flub my words a ton. Like I have a really hard time just speaking.
Well, because you got so much going on in your head.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm 4 sentences ahead of this one, and I can't get it out fast enough to make
Yeah.
the brain
I
happy.
need to save my progress.
Yes, exactly. And
Yeah,
then I
but
forgot what I was talking
It's
about.
auto-saving,
in general.
and I can't back out of that.
Right.
Right. It's refreshing, and now we're stuck.
Yeah.
It crashed. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, and that's kind of like, I don't know. Words only mean as much as they mean to you, I guess,
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. And then you find, the ways that people agree on that.
Right.
Mhm.
You find meaning, and then
for
you
sure.
find common ground in that meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which is just so different from my because I'm telling you, it was like visceral disgust of having to identify labels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That makes
when
sense.
people ask me to like label things, or people talk about identity, and I'm like, I don't understand. Well, and actually, I don't know if you will appreciate this or not. I don't have bad self-perception. I have no self-perception.
Oh, of like knowing how you like fit in a space, or okay.
Like, I have no idea. Like, I can look at me and recognize me, but the minute I look away, no idea. Like, no self-image whatsoever.
That's so weird.
At all. Like, I don't have one. And so when people are like, identify yourself, I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't have a mirror. I don't have anything to compare to. Oh my God.
I can imagine that, but I that used to be the case for me. But now, you know, the way that I look and the way that I know that I look can be the difference between like just chilling, walking down the street, or being hate crime. So I kind of have to.
Yeah.
And that isn't to say like.
Well, and I'm like, I'm
anything.
aware of how I look like physically when I'm like I will do my makeup because I know it needs to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's done, like, I completely forget what the hell is happening here or here.
And, I mean, that's interesting the way you phrase that, because I do makeup because I want to look good.
Yeah.
But like, you do makeup like as a ritual. It's like, I do makeup because the makeup has to go on a certain way. That's like passive voice, secondary.
Yeah.
Well, and it is. It's like an activity to do.
Yeah.
And I do it like it's an activity. Like I was like drawing something.
With the makeup to your face.
Yes.
And just like, totally atomizing all the parts of
it.
That's interesting.
Because I don't have any kind of self-perception because I've never had to. And I think maybe this is a place of privilege in a weird way.
Okay.
I've never had to like worry about how I was showing up in a space.
Okay.
Like I've never had to, like, masking, yes, but that was all like attitude.
Right.
Anyway, like I knew what my face was doing technically, but I was making that happen. But I didn't have a perception of like how I appear to other people.
Right.
At all.
Got it.
And I don't have a like, I think I look this way in the mirror. I'm like, if I look at me, I know I will know that that's me. Beyond that,
it's like
no idea.
blindness.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm not a kitten because I know that's not something to play with. That's just who I am. Right. But then you turn away from it. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. I'm like, I have no idea what I was doing in the mirror, and I don't know what I look like, and I don't have any like, because I'm so disconnected from the body that I really just don't identify with her at all. And so Karen is one thing, and I can be like, okay, time to preen and make Karen look pretty, but then that's it. That's the end of that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no identification with the body.
Yeah.
And so that makes it hard for me to like accept, like, physical labels are really difficult.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Of like a physical label.
Help me out here.
I'm trying to think. There was something that you had to do. There was like a workshop thing you were doing, and you had to.
Oh yeah.
You had to like label.
Is it something like eye color, hair color?
Well,
hair
I
type,
know
stuff
those.
like
Those
that?
are like that's like fact, right?
Right.
But if I was like something comparative, I guess.
Yeah.
Because unless I have something directly to compare it to, I can't make the comparison at all.
Right. Okay.
So like you're
it.
like, is this a large coffee or a small
like,
coffee?
am I
I don't
taller?
know
Am I
unless
taller
I
than the
have,
person?
no
Okay.
idea,
Got it.
no clue.
Yeah.
And then the other one, what they asked me to do was like identify my identity with labels.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And
then,
That's so meta.
Couldn't.
That sounds hard.
Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that means. I don't know what that means.
yeah.
yeah, that was your reaction at the time too.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and then I got angry because I didn't know what that meant. And I was like, I don't like being pushed to do this.
yeah.
And then they were like, how do your physical labels impact your life? And I was like, I don't know. Please stop asking me.
Yeah. I mean, that, like, your experience with that is, like, obviously unique. I will say, every, like, pan person in my life has had, like, the exact same experience with, like, a version to labels beforehand. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And it would, like, make sense because, like, you know, being bi, you know, to, like, somebody who has no idea what the fuck they're talking about, like,
Yeah.
that, in a sense, is being in between two labels because it's like, oh, just be straight or be gay.
Right.
Mhm.
And, yeah, so, I mean, like, even fitting it into that, like, monogamous, like,
Yeah.
comp het or compulsory heterosexuality.
Because even for me, I don't think it's about gender necessarily.
Right.
I think it's about like,
as your attraction to people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more about like, I don't know how to put this. I don't know. So like sorry, I'm struggling. Let's move on from that one because I can't find the word I'm looking for.
Are you like, so demisexual is like if you have emotional intimacy with somebody,
Right.
then you're capable of finding them attractive, regardless of gender. So like you wouldn't be able to look at, you know, like a cultural sex icon and go like, oh, they're sexy.
Oh,
but like
no,
if you
no.
thought about them a lot,
I'm like,
or if you were like friends,
women are friggin' hot.
uh-huh.
Love women.
Well, that's just a fact.
Super gorgeous.
Yeah,
Could
that's just
stare at
being a
women
good old misanthrope.
all day long, forever. But I think it's more about like the relational roles.
Okay.
So in men, I'm looking for something different from what I'm looking for in women.
Right.
Because I feel like I fall in like this middle spectrum of like, well, duh, I'm bi, hi. But I fall in this like middle spectrum of like, I don't know, roles within relationships, right?
Yeah.
So in men, I'm looking for someone who is more masculine and can do like, I don't know how to explain it. And then
Like-
in women, it's either like super butch, but only sometimes and in a different way. And then like super soft.
Uh-huh.
And yeah. So I'm looking for like two different things on each end.
Got it.
Right.
So
So it's hard to explain. I
you're
don't
like
know.
attracted to like certain types or archetypes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
Or-
the best way to
or-
put it. Yeah.
or types. Yeah. I
Right.
just keep saying types. What if I just said that? For the rest of
Which
the
is
podcast?
interesting because like in my romantic relationship, I am like, I take more lead.
Okay.
So I've never worried
Yeah.
about gender roles,
Uh-huh.
but it's more about like, I don't know, like sub-dom almost, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like that's
Like I'm looking for a more
Totally-
dominant man
uh-huh.
and a softer woman. But if you present me, there's a TikTok that, holy shit, I sent to Summer. Wow. Summer can attest. That woman does things to me. And I was like, okay, yeah.
Wait. Have I seen this one?
Maybe.
I think you did show me this.
Probably.
Because you were like, you need to see this.
Yeah, because she's...
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I'm just... They're different things because
Yeah,
I've always
yeah.
fallen middle of the line. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not the softest. And I'm also
Mhm.
not the most masked. So
Yeah.
I didn't really fit
Yeah.
anywhere particular. And so I was always looking for something almost comparative to myself,
Okay.
I guess is
That
the way
makes
to put
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, straight people have preferences.
hmm
Fucking somehow, I don't know how some straight women end up with those guys, but sorry.
Low standards.
Anyway, but yeah, theoretically,
Right.
everybody has their type, right? That's like totally normal. Like I think that, you know, part of the aversion to labels, because I experienced it too.
hmm
I was really averse to calling myself a lesbian because I was still stuck on like, if I put on makeup, does that like make me like
yeah,
whatever? I'm not
Oh,
even gonna
yeah.
finish that thought because that can be super triggering. But
Right.
like, you know, once I authenticated myself like
Mhm,
as a
mhm.
girl, as gender fuck,
You
non-binary,
are without
whatever.
any of
Yeah.
the
Right.
external.
So I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing anything in. I'm not, you know, faking anything.
Mhm.
I'm not putting on a costume to invade a space.
Right, right.
Once I realized that, then I was like, okay, cool. So now my womanhood is not defined by how men like me, which was also super complex because, like, you know, some gay men are into trans girls and just
Mhm.
pretend that they're not girls.
Right.
Oh, yeah, and that's not...
And that's really gross. So
Mhm.
I was
That's
experimenting with.
that's almost like the fetishization.
Yeah,
of-
for sure.
Yeah.
I was experimenting with bi men when I first came out, and I just did not have a good experience.
Right.
And it had nothing to do with the fact that they were bi. It had everything to do with the fact that they were men. And I have a boyfriend, but you know, my boyfriend is like the, you know, boy spelled B-O-I, Stonewall era butch lesbian, like kind of trans
Right.
mask boy.
Right, okay.
And he doesn't fuck with being a man. He's like a dude. Or like a guy.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
a
He's
he,
dude
they,
bro.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's like being able to do that too. has also just given me a lot of like, if those rules are so bendy, and they are, then it's like I don't even have to fucking think about it.
Yeah.
I can just like, lesbian feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Lesbian feels good gender wise too.
Mm-hmm.
Lesbian feels good culturally. Makes TERFs mad. That's fucking awesome. So let's do it. Let's keep
Right.
going with that.
Yep,
So,
there
but
you
yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense to be averse to a label because you think that you have to fit completely in it.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
if I'm bi, then I find men just as attractive as women,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just as common.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, no.
Right.
Like,
Right.
most bi people that I know are into like 5 dudes and every woman.
My husband and I have gone to strip clubs together in the past,
Mhm.
like just because we have and
Yeah.
have done for
Yeah.
our entire relationship.
Fuck
We've
yeah.
both been like, check out that woman, she's fucking hot.
That's fucking
Oh
awesome.
my god, look
Right.
at her. Oh wow. Like our entire relationship, and I never questioned it, and he never questioned it,
Uh-huh.
and so there was never any need to like
Right.
put a label on it
Yeah.
because it just was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, and we would go to strip clubs.
You
and
found
it
a
was-
zebra at a strip club.
Yes, I diagnosed a zebra at a strip club. That was crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Zebra is so they call it, zebras are the mascot of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is what we have. Because when doctors are in school, they're told when you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. As in, look for the easiest explanation to symptoms.
Yeah.
Don't go digging for something
Interesting.
super
I was
rare.
like, there was a fucking zebra.
But
And did it
zebras,
match
Right.
like the
Yeah,
zebra
no.
print flooring of the strip club? Like, that's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
but zebras do exist, and we are the zebras, so we
got
are
it.
the weird ones.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And
I
I
like
met a
that.
woman who, like, I was in there with my knee brace. We were in Vegas, and we were just like sitting down, and she came over and she asked me about the brace, and so I started explaining, and I was like, I dislocate, blah blah blah, and she goes, oh, you mean like this? And she popped her arm out, and I was like, do this,
Quickly.
do this. I need you to do this.
That's
and
magnetism. I love it.
she like passed it all, and I was like, holy crap, girl, you got it. EDS, you need to check this out. Here, I'm writing it down for you.
Yep.
Google it. Here's my phone number, let me know.
That's awesome.
And
Did she let you know?
oh my gosh, yes. And so she's just the sweetest. She messaged me one day and was like, you probably saved my life because you helped me to realize that I wasn't crazy and that there really was something going on with me. And subsequently her sister got diagnosed, and then she's been diagnosed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I've met tons of people, and that's why like it just drives me crazy when people are like, it's rare, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's
Yeah.
just really like people
Mhm.
miss it all
Oh,
the
yeah.
time continually.
Mhm.
But now like you know what to see like spot, and you're like,
Mhm.
oh dang, I think that one's got EDS.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be rare to be disabling.
Right.
Right.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
That's
women
I
are
big.
think-
most people, and being a woman is fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not rare.
Right.
So,
No, I think that's exactly because we've talked about like people being like defensive of
Mhm.
the rarity
uh-huh.
because they're threatened by people being diagnosed, I guess,
Right.
because
They've, like, it
they've
takes
not
away from
validated.
theirs.
Yes, exactly. They've not validated their own experience
Yeah.
outside of the rarity
Mhm.
and
Uh-huh.
all these things. So
Yeah, the gatekeeping gives them some
yes,
amount of, like,
control or
like, solidity in knowing
Yeah.
that they have
yes,
Yeah.
it. And then,
and then they defend it
Yeah, if
very
it's like so
fiercely.
many people are in it, then it's like it must be so flexible, and I might have made this up.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have it, or maybe
Mhm.
mine's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is
or maybe
another
I
one that
thought
comes
I
out.
had it just by like. There's
By
that
proxy.
stigma of like thinking that this goes for like autism, this goes for queerness.
Oh, that it's like
mostly,
trendy
that
diagnosed.
it's like, or that it's like spreadable, like, or that you
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
spreadable, not like actually contagious, but just in
Yeah.
the sense of like, well, if all of your friend group is trans or all of your friend group is mentally ill, and it's like, no, these are
it's
the people
almost
that
like
don't
we gravitate toward
Right.
each other.
bully me. Yeah, these are the people that I know who to talk to and who aren't assholes.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that's it. Like
Yes.
okay, so I was talking about there's this stereotype of like specifically trans femme people like making other people trans femme.
Mm-hmm.
Like the big thing is like AGP or like autogenophilia. It's like you look at a trans woman and you go like, wow, she's snatched, like I want to look like that too, and like if I do that, then it's like I'm always like turned on because like I'm the girl now. And
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, so that's like a big thing, whether unstated or just like kind of a thing that's culturally agreed upon, or a thing that's like thought of first before just like Occam's razor, that like,
right.
hey, if it acts like a girl and talks like a girl and wants to be referred to as a girl, it's
Mhm.
probably a fucking girl.
Exactly.
Also, what business is it of other fucking people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why do you care? Please, someone explain it to me.
Yeah. I mean,
Stop it.
And about the rarity thing, I thought, like, in the sense of intersectionality, right? Like, you know, the more minority groups, the more upset, like, the more oppressed you are. And that can sometimes work as a mode. But then I was like, oh my god, me being lesbian is so lucky. I don't have to
Worry about the man
worry
part.
about men.
Yeah.
Like, TERFs suck. But there's a reason that we call them TERFs, and then we call men that are transphobic men. It's because
Right.
one of them is the norm and one of them is a faction.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, that I feel very great about. Yeah.
See, and it's interesting because I feel like if people could be raised in kind of like a similar bubble where there's not a need, and people could just like whoever they like and
Mhm.
love whoever they love
Mhm.
and do whatever they want,
Mm-hmm.
people wouldn't be trying to like which one, because I think we all at different times in our lives are different things, because again, we are not stagnant, we're not nouns,
Yeah.
we are verbs.
Yes.
We are doing and being and becoming and changing
Absolutely.
constantly and forever. Why is that not okay? Why can't you just be
Yeah.
your name?
Yeah.
I think
The end.
that's one of the ways that I realized that I wanted to be poly,
Mm.
or that I like was poly. I'm not sure about the language about that yet, but it's like there's this thought that if you, and for me it doesn't come from like a bi or a pan place, it just comes from like, oh my god, women are fucking amazing.
Right.
They kind of are.
Yeah. And yeah, it's also like being a lesbian is like the whole lesbian equals woman thing is like, if you ask Sappho about that, she'd be like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, I'm a lesbian, I'm not a woman.
Right.
But anyway, so if I just didn't want to be like, I'm missing out
Right.
on other types of women
Right.
or whatever. To speak to your point, right? It's like those preferences are like totally valid. They're not talked about in queer terms a lot of the time, just
Yeah.
because it's either like a top bottom like rigid sex role, like
Right.
a thing to perform,
Right.
or it's like a gender,
Yeah.
which is like, you know, if you're not like LGB only, then it's like you realize that it's flexible
Yeah.
and arbitrary and in the eye of the beholder or whatever.
Right. Right.
So that was one of the things that inspired me, and kind of made me more solid in being a lesbian, is just knowing that like, oh yeah, so I don't have to settle, right? Like
Yeah.
my partner's fucking amazing, and the more people I date, the more I realize how amazing my fucking partner is. And it's not that I'm like comparing them poorly, but it's just like, holy shit, like they're fucking awesome.
Right.
Just like all these other people are awesome. And it's like, I've spent the most time with this one. That's really cool. It's like, this is like, I've gotten further on the skill tree in this one. It's like
Right.
really cool. Sorry for all the gamer.
No,
I
that's
just keep saying
hilarious. I
gamer
actually
shit,
really
and I'm
love
like,
that.
oh my gosh,
It's
okay,
fabulous.
So we'll do it.
I've leveled up my marriage.
But yeah, so I also think that, because I used to identify as bipan, and that like the monogamous pressure and the compulsory heterosexual pressure is like, you're either, you know, if you choose to be out and bi, then you're seen as sexually deviant or like unfaithful or
Right.
hypersexual.
Or it's the trend,
Or
and
it's a
you're
trend
just
and whatever.
experimenting
Yeah.
for attention.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you're actually this. Just
You
go
just
all the
don't
way.
know it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, or it's like you never found a good man. It's like, I haven't. You're right about that.
You're only dating women because you can't get a good man.
It's like,
Like all the things
yeah.
you've heard.
Well, I haven't seen one that is kind of interested in me, so.
I had to make one.
Yeah.
I mean, it did.
I'm very pro man, but the structures put in place, you know, make it very hard for men to be, you know.
Humans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Well, and
I
that's the
sympathize
thing.
with that, but it's also hard to
Yeah.
sympathize with that when that's the group that's also fucking with you the most.
Right.
Right.
Can you imagine how humans would thrive if we were not beholden to labels?
Yeah.
If we didn't have to be a thing and we could
Mhm.
just do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
If you cried and somebody went like, "Oh, that sucks," like I'm here for you, and not asked like
Right.
what was wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, "Oh, can I fix it?
Right.
Can we go back to doing our jobs here?"
Right.
Um,
This
We're-
is the one thing
yeah.
I know how to do.
we
What
were
do we do?
wired
Yeah.
to like fucking build shelter and get food and water and then chill.
Mhm.
rest of the
And make lots of babies.
I'm not like a keto
once in a while,
or
and
primitivist
then-
person, but it's literally like we work longer hours than a medieval peasant does.
Mhm.
I threaten to run away into the woods and disappear for all time at least once a week.
I was gonna say it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go be a tree people.
And that's the
By now.
normal urge.
Mhm.
I think it's very like
We are living counterintuitively.
yeah. I don't think
and
it's
against
it's
our own
standard
nature.
or should be to be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I want to wear a suit.
Oh,
boss
yeah.
people around.
I really love giving
Cubicles.
away a
Yeah.
third of my life to
I wanna
this
be-
job that doesn't pay
Yeah,
enough.
I want to be 30 stories high and surrounded by glass.
Yeah.
No fresh air.
No trees anywhere.
Yeah.
Can't see 'em. Mm-mm.
No natural sunlight. Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm like, who did this? Who? Whoever left the trees is a failure.
Whoever convinced everyone else to get out
That's
of the trees.
true. Yeah. No. Get back
There was
up
that
here
one
and
really-
stop it.
Really convincing like tactic, and that's what got us.
Yeah. Those
Like
are the
we made
rattlesnake
tools and then it
breeders
went-
that I was referring to.
Yeah, there you go.
It comes full circle.
You're like, please stop with the snakes.
Yeah, like, okay. I quite like looking at ground and there's no rattlesnake. I think rocks are fucking cool on their own.
Yeah.
Grass, count me in. You don't have to fill every
Every-
acre. Just because the line goes up doesn't mean it's good.
We made a graph. We need
Okay.
this many rattlesnakes.
Wow, I see. Wow, that's the highest the line has ever been on the amount of rattlesnakes produced. People like need to be fed and housed though. Can you do that for them?
You can eat the rattlesnakes. Can we?
You can try.
Can
If
we
a
though?
rattlesnake eats you, you'll be inside it. So
It'll be warm.
It'll be warm. There you
yeah,
go.
there you go.
No!
I just liked the
Don't-
ground.
I don't like this whole like human existence that we've made that is
Yeah.
totally against everything we know
Yeah,
and are.
absolutely.
And it's frustrating to like see the science start to like back up all the things that we intuitively know.
To
Mhm.
know that
And
you're
you're
right,
like, you know.
and then at the end of the day, just be like,
It doesn't
okay,
matter.
but
Here we are.
But
yeah.
the rest of the world is
Mm-hmm.
operating under the assumption that I'm not right.
Right.
So I just have to go through with it.
Yeah.
And I have to be called paranoid, and I have to be whatever.
Mhm.
We talk a lot about how like living with chronic illness has so even though there's a separation with the body, there's this like hyper connectedness
Yeah.
where
You're like super aware of.
yeah, we're aware of the body and how it communicates, and we
You're
talk
aware
a
of how
lot
separate
about
it is.
Yeah.
and we talk a lot about how humans have way more instincts than we know we have, and
Oh,
if
yeah.
people would just listen, there's a ton of things that like come to light, and like chiropractic is one of them for me at least.
Oh yeah.
Like, and we both do it where we learned really young how to adjust ourselves and
Mhm.
relocate things, and we were just doing it intuitively.
Yeah.
And there are days where like the first time I stood on my hands because I was like put my hands under my feet and pulled.
Uh-huh.
I was literally standing there and I was like, my wrist is out and everything sucks and everything's horrible, and my brain was just like, stand on your
feet, yeah.
hands. And I was like, the fuck, what? Stand on your hands. And I did, and everything popped, and it
Yeah.
was great.
I did that the other night when my rib was out.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, okay. So I had to like tuck my arm behind myself and then take a deep breath and then roll, and it popped.
There's just like weird things that
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
know how to do. The
Mhm.
nature of you knows how to do. And we are so disconnected from our own existence, essentially. And it makes me very sad.
Yeah. Well, most people are. Like it'd be surprising to see if you could teach somebody how to do that,
Right.
like how different their life would be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, especially the people who are like, I've had, like, people who, again, it's the difference between, like, being ill and then becoming ill.
Right.
Right. Where the people who grew up ill, we are more connected to that instinctual piece, I think. Whereas the people who became ill are fighting to get that connectedness,
Mhm.
but also running from the body because the pain
Mhm.
is new.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, like, there's no where are you gonna go from the pain? Can you run from the pain? Can you sit without pain? Can you stand without pain? No, no, you can do nothing without pain. End of story. The end. It's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Learn to deal with it.
Befriend the pain.
Learn to like function, right?
The pain will sometimes throw a backhanded compliment in there in the form of relief
Yes.
yeah.
from when you don't feel it for a
Yeah.
second.
Well, it's so bizarre. Like you don't realize how much pain you're in until it stops, and then you're like, "Whoa!"
I had that
buddy.
moment the other day.
Yeah.
What was it? The GERD. Like I hadn't taken a omeprazole for 2 weeks.
Oh no!
And
oh
it was
my
gotten
God,
really
dude,
bad.
I have a omeprazole.
I didn't know. I didn't even know it was out until I had like one really bad night where I was keeping me up, and I took some omeprazole and some Tums, and then I was like, my God, I was in a lot of pain. That
Oh,
really
yeah.
hurt.
Yeah. I don't think I have physical chronic pain, but I do have the, knowing that the fatigue isn't fixed with a cup of coffee, but it's a
Right.
result of me having done my compulsion and not knowing that it was a compulsion for 22 years.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
having that realization, kind of like how you were feeling earlier. It's like, that's cool. Like, it doesn't cause me pain, but like, holy shit, that's like a lot to deal with later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be mulling. I'm like, again, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna turn it over in my
Uh-huh.
hands, in my brain, and I'm gonna look at it and play with it.
Yes. You're going to stim with it.
Well, and stimming, like stimming is a natural human behavior.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, to get out the tension. And-
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. Summer would maybe know about this. Lisa told me about this book called Waking the Tiger. And it was so funny because she was telling me this the day after I saw TikTok about the exact same thing,
Nice.
where animals instinctively shake off tension and like it resets the nervous system. And humans also have that same stupid ability, and we are taught not to do the things that would help to reset
Right.
our state of being.
Well, but it would look
So, like,
weird.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which has always been my problem. Like, as a special education teacher, I was very cognizant of other teachers being like, well, they need to learn to behave normally. And I was like,
Right.
nope. My mission is to teach them how to survive in a world that is not built for them.
Uh-huh.
That is what we should be doing.
And to challenge.
It's not about asking them to
normalcy.
stop stimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like, great. So he's not stimming anymore, but he's also miserable. Like,
Yeah,
what?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
What is the cost here? What does it cost you to let your kid stim?
Well, he's not gonna
Social
get-
brownie
yeah.
points?
He's
Something
social brownie
corporate
points,
and abstract.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
oh no, he shook his hands. Like,
Yeah.
what are you? Why? What is the big deal? Leave
Right.
people alone.
Like,
Mhm.
I was talking to Summer about this because I'm newly a cat mom with her.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
And kitties are like, if
Autistic?
being autistic, and like autism is real, but like if being autistic is defined as like, sensory, like feeling sensory overload, or like communicating in non-conventional ways, or
This is really funny because I have always said that dogs are stoners and
Uh-huh.
cats are autistic.
yes, absolutely.
Cats
Yeah.
are
Like,
autistic. You want to
Cats
understand an
and me are
autistic person?
very particular.
Go hang out with a cat.
Yeah.
Like they have a scratching post, but maybe they don't like it. They just
Right.
like the way that the couch feels.
Mhm.
And they're scratching that shit up.
Yep.
Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, it's like and if,
Well, and it's like you have to earn the social interactions.
Mhm.
It's different because
Yeah.
our world is like revolving around this idea that people are owed social interaction,
Right.
and your social energy and your time, right?
Mhm.
But you spend time with a cat, that's all on the cat's terms.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a dog,
yeah,
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
a cat, and you need to A, earn their trust, and B,
Uh-huh.
they have to decide they like you. And
Yeah.
sometimes they're not going to like you just because.
right.
Mhm.
Like
The end.
my cat Kirby, we had some people over, or we even had the TV on, and it's her and I talking, and then two people on the TV talking. We didn't see him for the rest of the night, basically, and it's like he
He's
just
like,
needed
nope.
alone time, and it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and that was something that I had to learn to like. Oh my gosh, did I do something wrong? It's like no, like I have my stim needs, he has his,
Yeah.
just like Summer and I, like
Yeah.
one of the ways that I cope is like just super gung ho, like I just want to get it fucking done.
Mhm.
Whereas one of the ways that she tends to cope is just like, I just need to relax and build up the energy, and then I can get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like those two things equally valid, maybe the same results if you had a control group, but it's like contradictory.
Right.
And that's okay. That's nobody's fault. Nobody chose that knowing what the other person would be. It's just like, we're individuals.
Mhm.
And it's tragic that society views those as like personal
Handicaps,
failings or handicaps or
Yeah.
something that needs to be changed in order to appeal to
Or
most
fixed.
people.
You
Right.
need to be fixed.
Get along with people
Yeah.
who don't get along with you.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like we're all like fucking different. Like I like
Yeah.
the idea of, because I think that people do have a right to like have friends, but not in the sense that like an incel has a right to pussy and they're just
Right.
really shitty
Yeah.
Yeah.
to people. It's like it would do you a lot of good, but the rite of passage is actually treating people in a desirable
Right.
way.
Mhm.
Well,
And
and
that's
generally,
great.
if you were to leave children alone with
Uh-huh.
one another, they will sort out
Yes, they will.
those socially unacceptable behaviors
The
because
stim-
they will not be tolerated within
Right.
the group.
Yeah.
The way that somebody stims isn't the problem. It's
Right.
it's just like needs not being met,
Mhm.
right? And it's like once those are all met, then it's like great.
Yeah.
It's
Or
like
it's a way to regulate.
yeah,
Like some people take deep breaths, and other people are going to like. Everybody's different, and I'm throwing things. Yeah, I'm trying to think like how I regulate.
Uh-huh.
Like, did you know the arm straight
Yeah,
up
it was a.
is a regulatory thing?
oh,
And
I do-
I do that one a lot.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
if
I drape
I'm
it over my
overwhelmed,
hair.
I
Yeah.
drape it over
Yeah.
myself.
I do that too.
And I'll
all
do
the
it even
time.
if I'm like out. and
It's
about.
funny
Like,
because
that's a
when Lily
regulatory
was
thing.
talking, both reactions are my bipolar moods.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes I need to get shit done,
uh-huh.
like right away, and other
Right.
times I need absolutely nothing. I need to build up to it. So
Yes.
it's really funny.
And I'm embarrassed when the other one is brought up. It's like
Right.
Jekyll and Hyde. You cannot. Right now I'm Jekyll. No way for you to fucking know, but I'm Jekyll, and you cannot bring up Hyde,
Right.
or I will
Right.
never be okay with it. Like the
Mm.
stakes are so high. I'm not sure if you relate to that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I get that.
It feels like it has to be that one thing all the time until it isn't, and then
Yeah.
it has to be that thing
Mm-hmm.
for the whole time. It's
Interesting.
like how do I build my character around how I solve problems?
Exactly.
Because, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fascinating. Because my husband and I are like, so if you look at like an ADHD checklist,
Uh huh.
all the ones I check no to, he's checking yes to, and all the ones he's checking yes to, I'm checking no to.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
we're on like two opposite ends of the spectrum. And I have like really good like motor planning and spatial reasoning for the most part.
Mhm.
And like there are things where he's like, there's a task in front of me and I don't know where to start.
Yes.
And so he'll come and find me and be like, how do I start this task?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Because starting a task is friggin' hard, man.
Yeah.
Those executive functions are so difficult sometimes. And then if we learn to lean on one another, we can fill in those gaps. And I know like Summer and I at work do it all the time.
Mhm.
Where we're like, I need something from somebody, but like we know who has
Yeah.
the ability or the like
Yeah.
skills that we are lacking, and we'll go find that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like
You
once
sh-
you take ego out of it,
Mhm.
it can work.
Mhm.
You can just do all that shit for the betterment of your community, for your friend
Right.
group, for your relationship, be it monogamous or polygamous or
Yeah.
polyamorous.
Yeah.
Sorry, no Mormons here. Sorry. Anyway, but like you would be able to do that scot-free if there wasn't a chance of like making the other person embarrassed or yourself
Right.
being embarrassed by difference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It would be so
Well, and
much
that's
easier
exactly it. It's
without
like
it.
ego. Ego is
Yeah.
the factor.
How would it look if
And
I
how
did?
we are socialized
Yeah.
with ego is such a problem
Uh-huh.
because people don't know how to ask for help. They don't know how to admit their own failings. They don't even know how to identify their own failings because people are not taught to be introspective.
Right.
Mhm.
And if we could teach people to like approach that metacognition piece in a non-judgmental way, we might be able to get somewhere as a society, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything is a judgment
Uh-huh.
because that's how our society is built
Mhm.
and structured. That doesn't make it the right way, though.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me crazy. Is I'm like, just because that's the way it is and has been,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
like we are a blip on the radar of time,
Uh-huh.
and you're telling me we can't change it.
Right.
That's baloney.
Uh-huh.
Just because it is doesn't mean it's the right way.
Right. Or conflating like law with morality.
Yeah.
Or
Someone asked a really weird question. It was the morality of doctor shopping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The implications of the morality of doctor shopping.
which I found interesting. So I was like, I don't know that there's a moral angle
no.
to seeking out appropriate care. I get
The-
that there's like a
I think
judgment
they
on
were
it.
feeling it though.
Yeah.
They were feeling
Yeah.
that they were in the morally wrong for
for doctor shopping.
doctor shopping.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
Ooh.
one of the things that I learned is that like so many things that, you know, like from mental illness you inherit as being like illogical are like slippery slope fallacies.
Yeah.
And like the slippery slope fallacy just is a fallacy, point blank. Like there's no good slippery slope argument.
Yes.
It's paranoia.
Yeah.
And it's valid. Like that sucks as a feeling, but it isn't reality. You know, like it's what happened with gay marriage. It's what happened with
Makes me think of
transitions
Trevor
now.
Moore.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the gays got married.
Yeah.
Trevor Moore.
Yes.
Yes, love it. Yeah, no, absolutely. And sorry, I had to write it down so I didn't forget.
Mhm.
So, have you ever looked at the unhelpful thinking styles?
A while ago.
It's a really, really good, like, tool for, like, identifying. And it fits really well with what I'm doing in therapy, which is, like, identifying stuck points, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, those things that we fall back on and tell ourselves or
Yeah.
judgments about ourselves.
Mhm.
Let's see if I can find it. Should be pretty quick because I pull it up a lot.
Yeah, I'm curious. It's always really refreshing
There we
to
go.
be like, oh my god, this is written on a piece of paper.
Right?
Um,
Well, and there's just, like we said outside, like, there are certain things where you can hear the information 100 times. You all right? Me or hip?
No, my very low spine just popped.
Oh, good thing or bad thing?
Both.
Oh.
oh.
You want me to pop you later?
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe. Meh.
Ow, I nodded and my skull popped.
Let's see.
Great.
Weather.
The weather's probably, I was about to say, the pressure is changing. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so like what I'm doing in therapy,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then how it, like, people can say something to you 100 times, but until it's put the correct, like the way that fits in your brain,
Mhm.
you're like, I don't get it, I don't get it, I don't get it. Holy shit, I get it.
Or
Yeah.
not even that you don't get it. You think you get it.
You just don't absorb it the
Yeah.
same way.
Uh-huh.
It's
It-
like finding a puzzle piece and rotating it till it clicks.
Mhm.
Mhm. Oh, I most certainly magnify and minimize.
That's me
Catastrophize,
too.
yeah. It's
Yep.
it's
My
and
husband's a big catastrophizer. He's
Uh-huh.
big for that one.
I also very much used to, I'm better at it now, but disqualifying the positive.
Yeah,
Um,
that's you.
and that stemmed a lot from being really defensive about my marginalization
Right.
in certain ways.
Yeah.
Whereas
Well,
like,
and also being gifted, talented.
yeah, absolutely.
That plays a
Absolutely.
huge, huge role.
Oh,
Like, I will say it again, 2E kids are they are at the most risk, I think, of slipping through the cracks.
So burnt out.
and not being, not having their needs met
Yeah.
ever. So you have all these kids who are like, oh, they're gifted, they're fine. And you're like, usually if they're super gifted one way, there's a deficiency another way.
Mhm.
And then
Yes.
that leads to dysregulation.
Right.
Mhm.
And then we wonder why we have all these, like, they're super smart, but behaviorally. And you're like,
Yeah.
it's because this world is not built for
Yeah,
them.
it's not. I even take issue with the term gifted. Like it's flattering for the
Right.
first few
Right.
minutes,
But then it's a bar that
This
you
is
have
a
to
bu-
keep
yeah,
jumping
I have,
over
like-
and over and
I'm
over
okay
again.
in certain ways, and then it's like extra hard difficulty
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
other ways.
Well, because it's like, if you were told to keep jumping the same bar, but you're getting more and more tired as time goes on,
Right.
and then the
Mhm.
one time you miss it, the gifted part goes out the window.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
you lose your status if
And
you don't
then-
keep jumping that bar.
It's not even a status thing as to me as much as it is like the way that people treat you.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like in some
Or
ways,
people's expectations.
in
of
some
you.
ways, I would have loved to lose that because then I would be understood for showing clear signs of disability as a kid
Mhm.
and not
Yeah.
just being like eccentric because I'm gifted.
Right.
But then I have to deal with disappointment, and it's
Right.
already been ingrained from that, like being raised as gifted.
Yeah.
That's like a no go.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pressure that like sticks with you even when the label doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well then I might as well keep the label.
Right. Because if you're not meeting your potential,
Uh-huh.
then you're
Oh,
lazy.
My God,
Yes.
And that's
exactly.
the judgment
It's
that
like-
comes down on your head.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is you meet that potential or you're lazy.
Yeah.
And then when you're burnt out and you're tired and you can't meet that expectation,
hmm
you punish yourself
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think
over and over and over again.
I think if we still have time, we could bring that to abuse,
Oh yeah.
like what you're told.
Yeah,
I actually
absolutely.
Need to cancel. I need to move something back, but go for it.
Oh, okay.
No, continue.
We could also do a part 2 if we need to
Mm-hmm.
later on.
That's true. We have time.
Because I think we have we've got time on our hands, but we also have a lot of footage right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We can
how do we feel about doing a part 2? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to continue this conversation
Yeah,
because it's
absolutely.
been absolutely engrossing
It's been
and
wonderful.
I'm
Mhm.
having a really good time.
We
And
could
I'm
do
so
it-
happy that you're happy. That makes me
Yeah.
happy.
We could do the 4 of us too.
Yes, absolutely. That would be so cool. Summer. Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's close it out here
Yeah.
because we have tons and tons and then more to talk about next time, which will be really great. I'm actually super excited.
Heck yeah.
Super excited. But in the meantime, thank you so much for coming along. I'm losing my voice. Oh no. Oh no, we can't say goodbye. Thanks for hanging out with us while we kind of explore this topic. It's been really, really, I don't know, enlightening and
Just
it's brain candy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put
I
it.
love
Yeah.
relating in a way that isn't like superficial.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
like, yeah, it feels
Well, and
really
exploring other people's thoughts without the judgment is just so much fun.
Yeah,
Because you
it's
get
very
to
healing.
see different ways that people are thinking about the same things.
Absolutely.
And coming to the same conclusions different ways is always really cool.
good. So thanks for
So,
having me.
Oh, absolutely. We've absolutely adored it.
We were so
and enjoyed
excited
it.
all week. Like,
We were like, it needs to be Saturday now.
mhm.
Me too.
But for now, we will say goodbye. So take care of you, be kind to you, be kind to others, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.